Hey guys, can you really get the same results from a 3-day routine that you can in 6 days? So, kind of yes and no. Like I can tell you this, 3 times a week will kind of get you very, very good results. Like you won't go backwards, you won't regress backwards. And the truth is, you just have to take a leap of faith with that. Now, a lot of people, they like going to the gym more regularly, but sometimes you just can't go more regularly without sacrificing a ton of sleep and stuff. So yeah, there are benefits to doing the 3 times a week routine, guys. It really is the most sustainable routine. Now, here's where I say you can't really get the same. I mean, like if you want to become like a bodybuilder, it's just not going to be enough volume really, because 3 sessions a week, you're training the full body. You have to kind of go through each category. So you have to go legs, chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, core, calf. With that 3 sessions a week, it's very difficult without making the session become far too long, to put in enough volume, you know what I mean, to get you kind of like enough to trigger the crazy like 3D aesthetic kind of goal. But if you're just looking for like general health and fitness, and also if you focus on your diet, because the thing is, for men in particular, most of our aesthetics just come from being lean. So like, you know, you see guys in prison, why do they look so good? Because they're lean. So you can do this, but you kind of have to be clever with your diet. So it sounds simple, you know, train 3 times a week, train the full body, you know. So there's 2 mistakes people make with this. One is they will just undereat, and that basically means they don't really progress with it at all, because you're not eating enough. You can overtrain because you're still training every muscle 3 times a week. It does require a serious couple of days of recovery between each session, or, you know, at least 1 day minimum recovery. And if you're undereating, you know, yeah, you'll get leaner, but like you also can start losing muscle like that. Number 2 is just eating everything in sight. Okay, so you're just basically not even considering, this is what I get guilty of sometimes, your diet whatsoever. So when you just eat everything in sight, it's okay, you're not gonna like overtrain as easy because you're eating in a surplus. But the downside to that is just you don't really get very great aesthetics, because if you were just slightly leaner, just a tiny bit, like if you just basically focused a bit more on whole foods, your aesthetics would pop out a lot more. So just basically drinking a bit more water, maybe just being a bit more choosy about what you eat, then suddenly you'd get, it would almost look identical to if you was doing a 6 times a week routine, you know. I mean, so at that point you're kind of splitting hairs, because like obviously you're a normal guy who's got normal recovery, you're not enhanced, you're eating enough, but you're eating a bit better. So yeah, you absolutely can get good results with 3 times a week. I don't know if it's identical, but here's the funny thing: if you're training 6 times a week, but like you're sacrificing a ton of sleep and your recovery is pretty awful, and you're kind of getting to a point where like it's getting so unsustainable you might just quit doing anything, then, you know, the 3 times a week full body one is going to be your safest bet really. And like I say, there's enough frequency there for you to do very, very well. You know what I'm saying? You are going to not lose any aesthetics. And on the other days, you can do things like core. So when you're training your core, remember the abs are kind of the most visible part of the body. Like in bodybuilding, the entire kind of physique is built around the abdominals anyway. So for this exact reason, you know, you can end up throwing more volume in on the core on the off days. So if you just do a couple of sets of core on your off days, you're kind of winning right there, because you're getting enough recovery, getting enough training, and also you're hitting your core.